Today, we're going to look at the number 3 Cloak and Dagger player in the world and see if we can analyze their gameplay and see what they're doing that's going to help us play better as Cloak and Dagger ourselves. This is a one above all player. We'll check their match history. A lot of SVPs, a lot of MVPs. So this looks really promising. Let's see what they did here. So they're playing Invisible Woman there. We found a match. They went 10-0 and 22. This looks like a pretty quick game. I'm pretty sure they they definitely stomped their opponents. So this may not be a good example, but we're going to take a look at it anyway, because ideally you want to just rock every game of yours like this and not even give the other team a chance. So let's jump in here. We'll see how they did, and we'll see why this game was over so quick. Now, right off the bat, if you look at their teams, look at all of those icons on everybody. Like they have a solid team going into this that's been at high levels of competitive play for a very long time. So they're staying in that little hidey hole that I was talking about on one of my last videos, and they're just kind of making sure the team stays up. They're out of the line of sight of most damage are going to do. They are using the quick reload tech, which is crucial. I don't see them using their cloak cooldowns a whole lot, which is interesting. So they're getting dove right here. Spider-Man, instant heal bubble. So let's go back. So this is something I do quite often. So you'll notice, they're dealing pretty decent healing as it is, but they're keeping their bubble on reserve. And I think they're doing it for the same reasons that I do, which is, as a healer, you're going to get dove a lot by Spider-Mans and Venom and stuff like that. And you need a little bit of survivability. So I try, unless my team really needs it, I will keep that healing bubble just for myself, to protect myself. So as soon as this Spider-Man dives me, I can just pop that down immediately, get some healing, hopefully deal a little bit of damage to him to get him to jump away. Right there, you'll see the Spider-Man comes in. We're going to go right back. So as soon as the Spider-Man comes in, first thing they do is they pop that healing bubble. They're like, oh no, Spider-Man! And then they drop it down right there. So you'll see that there. They're instantly getting healing. Great play. And they start poking at the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man's like, okay, I'm not going to get the kill. I'm going to bounce out. So that keeps you alive. Now you've got your team backed up to help you take care of the Spider-Man. And now she goes right back to healing the rest of the team. Now, that's going to give you a momentary delay. So you see, they're dropping a little bit in health. I'm wondering if they're going to... Well, they do have a Luna here healing as well. So they may not have... Yep, there it is. There's the light burst to get a little bit of extra healing in. And then right back to what they were doing before, healing the team. Really good awareness on that Spider-Man. As soon as they started taking damage, they knew they had to keep themselves alive. Now, this spot gets a little tricky, and this is what I was talking about before. If your team starts pressing forward on this map, you have to go up with them. You just don't have the rain from back in that little hidey hole to actually keep them alive and maybe even get a little bit of poke damage. But as the team starts retreating back, they're jumping right back in. This is solid. I'm kind of surprised they're not using Cloak. They're really just going Dagger and just healing. I would expect a little bit more, Veil of Darkness, things like that to just kind of poke. Now you got Hella coming on the right here. They just kind of ignored her, got around cover, focus on heals. Now, I wonder if they had pressed in, if they would have maybe given it a little bit more attention, but they didn't. Tank's starting to go down. You give him an extra burst of healing. So Spider-Man's back. Oh, that's nice. Ultin on top of the Luna to help try and cancel some of that out. That's really smart. Oh, do it? Yeah! Okay, I love that move. So now that I've realized that you can do this the other day, I think I did a video about this one. So Magneto is pretty much a hard counter to her ult, but this Magneto is a little bit late. So I'm just going to back up just a little bit here. So you see this Magneto start to go in their ult. Cloak and Dagger finishes her ult. They hear it. Instantly swap to Cloak and pop in Dark Teleportation. So what that's going to do, now they do that hides her and her entire team. So this Magneto ult is going to effectively do nothing. As long as you and your team don't do anything to take you out of that. So if you try and deal damage or something like that, it's going to take you out of it. But they just hold on to it. They also, oh, that's interesting. So not only did they pop this to hide from it, but they also go up in the air to get away from where it's going to be thrown. So even if, let's say they popped out of it, it's going to hit down here on the ground. They're nowhere near it. And right back into damage security in that mode, and then right back to healing. That was a fantastic play. Really, really, really great awareness. Prioritizing keeping loot up. That Magneto's done. Now they've got control of the point again. Everybody's at full health, and they are ready to go. Now, pressing a little bit far forward, they won that team fight. The other team's retreating. Now, see, that's really, really good. So, that Hela ult is going to kill Cloak and Dagger really, really quick. So, what she does is she leverages the design of the level, gets back behind this cover a little bit, so this Hela can't really do any damage, but at the same time, trying to keep her team up that's out there dealing with it. Now, they are going to lose their Hela. Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot they could do there. Spider-Man comes back, right back to the healing bubble. That Luna saved you there. Absolutely, that Luna saved you. But this is a team game, right? They've got a really good Luna on their team as well. So that Spider-Man is still doing stuff. A little bit of poke to get out. Backs up from that strange ult. And just, yeah, having to deal with that Spider-Man. Oh, finally they're using Dark Teleportation. Okay. That blinds him a little bit. That other team just left. So it's cool to see. It's really cool to see in this level of gameplay, just the teamwork that comes together. So you'll notice, like, that team started pushing. They used their Eye of Agamotto. And they realized really quickly, like, hey, this fight is not going our way. Let's back out, regroup, and we'll give it another push. So time management in games like Marvel Rivals is really, really important. So if somebody dies, I want to say it's like on average, like a good 60 to 90 seconds it takes for you to get back to the front lines. This map is a little bit shorter in the beginning, so it may not be as long, but it doesn't sound like a whole lot of time, but that is a massive amount of time, especially if you're a healer or a tank, for your team to be without that role. So what they do is they realize the fight's not going our way. Let's not die. Let's back out. Let's regroup, and then we'll move forward. Meanwhile, this team, like this Cloak and Dagger, they're going to push because they want to secure those picks and unbalance the fight. Now, the way I play, I don't like going really past this part of the choke as a healer. As long as you've still got line of sight on the rest of your team, which, so in the ranks that I'm in right now, you don't have that good team play. So what would have happened in a gold or platinum lobby is the team sees the ability to push like that and they go full bore, and we'll usually end up having like 2 or 3 people on our team die, which puts us at a disadvantage for holding the point. Even though we were the aggressors there, you want to push to a certain point and then regroup anyway, because it's all about space and time management. So this team does a great job at that. And they got the strange portal on back. And that is another reason you don't want to have the whole team press too far forward, because this is an objective-based game. They have to take this point. You have to defend it. And if nobody's there on the point to defend it, you're going to get rocked. Now, this Cloak and Dagger does a really good job. They identified it, they called it out, and then they immediately start to retreat away from that team so they can get their team in between Cloak and Dagger and the enemy team. Now, I've seen this a lot with this strange portal over here. They kind of stay up top. The rest of the team did come down, though. Yep, pop that ult, get some healing in. Oh, they're in a little death hole right now. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Oh my god. All right, we got to go back and watch this again, because that was just absolutely phenomenally beautiful. Watch this. I'm gonna back it up. All right, so you can see right now their team is getting split, right? This Cloak and Dagger is about to have her ult up, so her team is not really pushing them. She sees their whole team grouped up in this tiny little hidey hole room over here. There's not a whole lot they can do. So what this Cloak and Dagger does is, instead of just hitting the point, she heals her tank, uses her point to really press them in there and back them into that corner, and they're done from there. You're dealing a bunch of tick damage, and you've got that storm ult going at the same time. There's nowhere for them to go. They wipe almost the entire team. The only one that's left is Spider-Man. That was a really good play. Really, really important positioning. And that other team, unfortunately, like, instead of pushing the point more, they tried to retreat back in there, and it was over at that point. All they have to do in this second round is just capture the point, because they stopped that other team hard. Oh, wow. All right, so they got Spidey flanking. He gets a pick real quick. They're really unbalanced here, so they got 2 going down main. Magneto's just kind of keeping attention. They do have a flanker going around the side over there. We'll see what she does. But right now, they're just kind of testing things out. They're kind of really, really good awareness on the DPS over there. So you'll see that Bucky over there starts to go down. And this is a really interesting way to try and get some angles. So Bucky's up on the high ground, you're down on the low ground trying to heal them. Just a little jump gives you enough. Now, Cloak and Dagger, you could have ricocheted off the ceiling and things like that. But anything you can do to give yourself a little bit better angle to get those heals in, it's going to make a world of difference. Now, see, the way I play, I end up getting a little bit too aggressive sometimes. So I would have seen this Spider-Man jump across here, right here. You'll see, like, where his health is at. My attention probably would have immediately gone towards, let me try and get this pick on Spider-Man, get him out of the way and help us make this push. That Spidey is, you can see their health bar in the background there. They are almost dead. They may have been able to push that, but instead she goes right back to healing. It's not important. Now, Magneto's pushing up really quickly. I'm surprised. Okay, so the Magneto pushed back. They did a little bit of push in. They came back. I thought they were going to go down, but again, I'm used to like gold and platinum lobbies where that Magneto would have gone in and then just died by the entire team. He wouldn't have had the awareness to say, hey, I'm by myself. I got a little bit of space. Let me back out and stay alive. Their goal would have been, I'm on this point. It's mine now. Even though your Luna's not up there with you, the Cloak and Dagger is still back holding everybody else, and you don't really have a good sight picture into the point to be able to provide heals. So they just kind of back up a little bit, reset, wait for the rest of the team, and then the team pushes in together. This is phenomenal team play together. Now, I do feel, based on what I've seen in this match so far, that they were probably significantly better than the team they were playing, but really, really, really good overall, just team positioning, awareness, and I think those are things I need to work on. And I think that that's going to make a really big difference in the outcome of your games. I was surprised just how little of Cloak's abilities that they were using, especially the Darkness Veil that blinds them and increases the damage. I didn't see a whole lot of that in this game, and I'm very surprised just how little of that was used, but they provided great heals. They had top heals on their team, and the rest of their team was doing a good enough job in terms of dealing damage and taking space that I don't think they needed to. So that could have been a situational decision just based on, hey, I don't need to use this. Let me prioritize heals on my team instead. But overall, really, really well played game. And I think the outcome and the score shows that. I think there's a lot that you can really learn by looking at these high level players and just kind of seeing what they're doing. So I think we're going to do a couple more of these videos where we really look at these high ranked players in different roles and different positions and see what are they doing to get them to that point that they're at. How are they playing? How are they working with their team? And what can we learn from them to improve our gameplay so that hopefully we can get up to these higher ranks at some point as well and really, really learn and really learn to contribute for our team. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow for more Marvel Rivals content.